I've been trying to get people's attention now for several months with catchy titles on my videos and whatever I can do to get your attention. And why am I doing that? I'm trying to save you some money, save you the hassles I've gone through. I've tried Foley's Russian bees. They were not resistant to mites. I do not believe any Russian bees are resistant to mites. It's a big scam. I tried this product over here, Formic Pro Formic acid. It seemed to work one fall, kill the Varroa mites, but the second fall that I used it last year, it did not kill any Varroa mites. And when I realized that, about a few weeks after I was done with the treatment, a lot of my bees had died. So I used this acylic acid in November, and of course I bought, same time I bought this from Better Bee, this Rox vaporizer, I bought 350 grams of acylic acid from Better Bee, $38, and I got ripped off just because I was in a hurry to get it. I didn't spend time shopping around. I got this off of Walmart's website. 10 pounds for $28. So I keep putting all this information in my videos, trying to get you guys not waste your time beekeeping. And here's a catalog I got from Kelly Beekeeping yesterday. It's really stupid. Just look at the cover. Now, I'm an electrical contractor. I do not enjoy working on ladders. It's really unsafe to be on a ladder. Why would any beekeeper want to stack hive bodies that high? Now look at him. Did he forget his ladder and that's why he's frustrated? Or is he tired out from checking this colony here? That's just downright stupid. And I even called them up and told them how stupid their cover was on their magazine. And then putting bees in a hive like that, that's also stupid. Take some frames out, take the queen out, leave her in the cage, stick her in between some frames, and after you've taken out some of these frames here, you put that box in there with the open side up, cover up the hive, go back in there the next day, and all the bees that are in this cage here, this box, they'll be on the frames where the queen is. Then you can take this out, stick in the frames, and if you want to release the queen or whatever, I recommend waiting, because even if you trust where you got those bees from, they could kill that queen at any time. Just make sure you think the queen's going to be okay before you release her. Look at the prices they're charging. Cheapest package, $137. Oh my God. Ridiculous. Now, I called them up and asked, see, they're filling these packages with Italians. I called them up and asked, are these Italian bees, were they in the almonds last month? I had to ask her 3 times because she didn't understand the question. And when she finally understood it, she said, nobody's ever asked that question before. Well, I said, well, 80% of the bees in the United States are in the almonds in California, getting all those toxic chemicals in their system. Are these bees from the almonds in California? She didn't know, but she said these bees come from a breeder in California. Then I suggested to her, well, they probably were in the almonds because they can't resist the chance to make a little bit of money. So you're buying unhealthy bees, unless you can verify they weren't in the almonds in California, getting the pesticides, fungicides, and everything else. It's a monoculture. It's not healthy for them. But look at these. Look at nukes. $215. Oh my God. And the cheapest one's $195. If you haven't seen my videos, I'm having a little more trouble than I normally would because that Formic Pro didn't work last fall. But I do have colonies outside. I have some that have been out there all winter long, and here it is, Michigan. It was an easy winter. I will give you that. And I breed bees all summer long. The commercial beekeepers bring bees to my area. I use his drones, and I breed with his bees all summer. Last year it was May through September. This year I'm going to go April through August. What I mean by that is when I do my splits, I count that as the first month. I don't count the month that the virgin queen gets on mating flights. So anyway, I put small colonies in the windows, and I check them as many times as I can through the winter, just like I check those out there during the winter. You know, this is Better Bee's idea, a shim here. This is where I put my pollen patty, and I load this up with the hives outside. I load this up with sugar in the fall. I got my LED flashlight I turn the flashlight on, and I actually look in there, see how they're doing. And I can check them every day. I don't wait until spring like you idiots to check, see how my bees are doing. And I don't put fiberglass in the top of my hives. God, nobody likes fiberglass insulation. So anyway, this is a colony, and I checked them a few days ago. And the queen was on just one side of a frame, and that's all the bees they had. And then I checked another colony, and I found they lost their queen. She wasn't in there. They usually take them out and dump them somewhere. So I took, what I did was, see these insulated fillers here? This is my idea. Man, I ought to patent this. I don't use a nuke box. It's too cold for that up here in Michigan. See this? R15. Much warmer than the side of a hive. So the queen was here in the center. And I made this one a 7 frame. And I put 2 frames of bees here on the edge. The queen was over here, and then I just checked them today. And the bees, the reason why bees are here, there's some pollen there. They're getting pollen because they weren't taking the pollen that I had in there. Just because the colony is not taking your pollen patty doesn't mean they're not laying. Maybe they have some pollen on a frame they'd rather have instead of that cheap factory-made crap. So anyway, I want to make this a 5-frame nuke. I'm going to put one of these on each side, and I want to move these over without disturbing them too much, because I've already looked just to make sure they had a queen, and she's busy laying. A few days ago, she wasn't so big. Now she's huge, and she's laying. And I don't want her laying on the outside frame. See why the bees are there? They're covering that. They're just to keep the brood warm. I've been doing this for 7 years. In the last 4 years, nonstop. It may be Michigan, but I do this inside, even when it's cold out. Nobody does it better. See that queen? She's a little bit upset now that I bothered her. That's a home-bred queen. She didn't cost me anything. Why would you want to pay over $30 for a queen when they're so easy to breed on your own property? Or I can take mating nukes to other places. Just when I set up bees to make honey somewhere, I can set some mating nukes there just the same. It doesn't cost me anything. She's a beautiful queen. Oh, and I want to mention, if you want to catch swarms, if you want to waste your time doing that, I didn't do that last year because I was too busy breeding my own queens. I save all the queens I've ever known before. I love them and I save them. This is an alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and this is lemongrass oil. What you do is you take a Ziploc bag and some paper towel or toilet paper or napkin, put it in there, open that up. I've tried both of them. One side put lemongrass oil on, and the other side put a few queens with a little bit of alcohol, and then poke some holes in there, stick it over a few frames and into a cheap hive body. I always put swarm traps wherever I have bees just to make sure if they abscond or if they swarm and I didn't know about it, they go into that instead of going somewhere else. But last year I didn't waste my time putting swarm traps in locations where there's commercial bees because I spent too much time driving around. It wasn't really worth the time. Oh, and if you haven't seen my other videos, I'm going to gather these bees up, and I could either toss them in there before I close it up, or I could put them on this platform that I have on my shim. So anyway, it's so much easier to breed your own bees. You save so much more money, and I make my own frames. And this right here is a better bee, but this one here, I can tell this is one that I've made. I chiseled it out. I spent the time to make these. It didn't cost me more than $7 compared to the $17 that Better Bee's charging right now. So I saved this colony. That's why you want to pay attention to your colonies during winter. So if you need to step in and save a colony, you can do that. I'm going to get these in the center. I'm going to put it in those insulated fillers that I should patent and make money. I'm sure if people saw them in a magazine, they'd probably start doing it, but not enough people are seeing my videos. It's free information, and you can make it at home all by yourself. It's just very simple, same size as the frame, just make it wider and put some insulation board in it. It doesn't seem to bother the bees. See all that pollen on there? That's why the bees are going over there. Okay, this video is, geez, too long, over 10 minutes. I got to stop it now. Okay, thank you.